Hey guys, Aaron here. Welcome back to another StarCraft 2 visual novel, or SC2VN. I would say SCT, like, that doesn't make sense. So, really fast, guys, I had to go a little bit ahead of the story. I didn't do that you guys are going to see from where we left off last time, but I went ahead myself to make sure everything was working. And when I was doing it the second time through, stuff kind of went the wrong way, in my opinion. Not by choice, but by random stuff happening. So, like, all of a sudden my phone rang, and, the excuses I can give you guys sounds so legit, I swear, but it did happen nonetheless. So I apologize. I'll tell you guys right now that I chose an option that does come up, and it was an instant loss. So I'm not saying that I did something that like clever. I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, I got the choice right on my first shot. I'll tell you guys right now that I know one of the choices is going to be the dead end kind of choice. So I'm just warning you guys about that right now, though. Because I'm not gonna take pleasure in knowing that I like. Oh yeah, I did it. I beat him my first shot. Yeah, right. Totally off screen. I did. Nah, yeah, I actually made a mistake on the choices I did. And I'll explain it when I get there. All right. Anyways, though, let me put my timer on because I need to actually have my timer on to tell me how long 15 minutes is, so I don't go into like 30-minute territory like I did one of my other ones, which is it's coming out soon too. All right, ready? Go. All the same, Stunt's crushing his opponents with a rush build, and by the looks on his face, he takes great pleasure in that fact. His enemy sends a salty one-liner before dropping out of the game without a GG. Stunt grins wide and puts his hands behind his head, satisfied. After checking the post-game stats, he glances over his shoulder and then spins his chair around to find me watching him. Oh, look, it's this kid. And I pointed this out last time, and I'm gonna do it right now. Last time in my original run of this, but his fingers scare the crap out of me. Like, look at that, like pointy part right there. Is that his nail or is that his finger? It's got skeleton hands. Sup? Something you want? Yeah, you're Stunt, right? That's me. And who are you? I'm Mock. Stunt lights up, stands upright, plants his hands on his hips all at once. Sound like a like a not not a rhythm. I said rhythm, but whatever. I'm not even gonna try to say because I can't think of it all the time. What the heck? Oh, jeez. Right, the foreigner that Excel messaged me about. What's starting to think you weren't show up? Let's get this beat match starting or bet match going. Hey everyone, the bet match is on. What? Damn it, really, Excel? Before I could attempt an explanation, a crowd of 6 or 7 middle school aged kids forms behind Stunt. I don't see myself talking my way out of this. Bet match, right? That's me, yes. That's what I'm here for. Another chobo is gonna try to bet match Stunt. When will they learn? He's the cafe's best player. Hey Stunt, will you buy me juice with your winnings? Juice. Stunt ignores the peanut gallery and takes a step forward, sizing me up. Judging by his appearance, it looks like he just started high school. I'm at least head taller than him. Excel said you were down for 15,000 won bet. But come on, you could do better than that, right? How much were you thinking? 25,000 is a much better number, wouldn't you say? Come on, you had to drag your ass all the way over here to play. Let's make it interesting. That's what, $20 or so? I'd have to skip a few trips to Go-Mart, but I can't risk him turning me down. Okay, fine, 25,000. What are we gonna do about maps? Best of three, right? Nah, best of one. My time's too valuable. In a show of good faith, you could pick the map. Excel wasn't kidding about this kid's cockiness. Whatever, at least I could choose a map with a long rush distance. I find a seat at a computer nearby, though not so close we can catch a glimpse at one another's screen. A locked window stares back at me as I sit down. Of course, I need to pay the use to PC. But before I can head back to the front desk, Stunt slides in front of me and takes the mouse. I got it. Consider it an investment for the money you're about to give me. He unlocks the machine with a few clicks and the entry of a password. Huh, that works. After I thank him, he slinks back over to the setup. Stunt shares a few confident words with the underage crowd behind him and then throws his headphones on. I host up a game and toss him an invite. It's not long after that I'm staring down at my base at 6 workers. Cannon's 2-gate, 4-gate, blink, proxy, robo, proxy, stargate. There are a dozen different ways that Stunt could end this game early. By the way, these are important. I'll tell you right now. These are very important. I noticed that with the choice in this game, if you have these and then you have to play them, they're important for later ones. So for Stunt, he's young, untrained talent, favors unorthodox play, bad taste in hair dye. That part's not really important, but these two are actually important because remember he does rush people, but that does not mean that he doesn't know what he's doing when he rushes people. And I skipped the line before that, so let's go to the scroll wheel. As a precaution, I scout around the interior of my base. Okay, yeah, I'm not being rushed. Oh, that was actually there. Never mind. And as I discover I am, just outside my vision range and dangerous close to my worker line, a cannon finishes building. Some losses of defense are inevitable, but if I handle this well, it should put me ahead of Stunt. I gutsy. It's gutsy of him to risk it best on one strategy like this. Practically, all I have to do is scout it to score a victory. By microing my injured SCVs away from the cannon shots, I'm able to end a rush at a low cost. In truth, that seemed like an exceptionally weak attack. Was Cellix hyping this kid up for nothing? I end up losing 3 of my workers by the time a single cannon is dead. Now where's that probe? There it is. With the probe down, there's no way he'll be able to drop down any more cannons. Still, he's probably planning his next move. I have to decide what comes next. If he's transitioning to something standard, this would be the best, perfect time to counterattack. His tech has to be lacking, so there's no way we'll have strong enough units to defend a marine attack. And while it seems incredibly unlikely, there's always a chance that he might have another attack ready. If I want to err on the side of caution, I could stay on my base and simply tech up, but that might give him enough time to get back into the game. I should make this call based on what I know about his playstyle. Now, boys and girls, I chose the one that sounded like most reasonable, which is counterattack Marines, because I was thinking the whole time that he is quick to, attack you, so thus maybe if I counter him instead, it would kind of throw him off guard. That ended the game horribly, so I'll tell you guys right now, that was an end game right there for that. So we are going to choose stay on the defensive. Even though I'm giving up a chance to win the game immediately, the safe thing to do is tech up the dropships. But it looks like I won't need to. My precautionary scout uncovers an ambush waiting in a dark corner of my base. With more than enough units and space into microing my machines, I dispatch the zealots with barely any loss. A cannon rush feint into proxy gate? Absolutely ridiculous. With this rush routed, Stunt quits out of the game without a GG. I won with surprising ease too. Wow. That was so much easier than what I did. Alright, Stunt pushes through the dumbfounded crowd and comes stomping over, fury in his eyes. He didn't really expect to lose. You blindly scout the smoke in your base after a cannon rush? Are you kidding me? Who does that? I raised my hand defensively and skirted away from the victory screen splashed across my monitor. Whoa, calm down. It takes 5 seconds, and you have a reputation for those kinds of builds anyways, you know? He makes a disgruntled sound and stares hard at me. You got lucky. Oh. That showed up so fast I couldn't even look at it. Alright, well, what are you yelling back there? Didn't I tell you to sweep up the back room an hour ago? Stop screaming at customers and go do something useful. Lords have mercy. Without warning, the woman at the front desk paints Stunt a bright red from across the room. She glares at him for a moment longer before ducking back behind the counter. Talk about lousy bosses. His anger replaced with modesty. Stunt scratches behind his head. The middle schoolers have mostly dispersed, especially destroyed by the cruelty realization that their Protoss god can bleed. Sorry, that's my mom. Anyways, you beat me. Let me go get your cash. His mom? Ugh, even worse. I can see the resemblance minus the bleached hair. Explains how he locked my PC at least. Actually, wait. I didn't come here for a bet match. What? We just played one. I don't have to pay you then? What? No, I'm recruiting for a new team. Excel mentioned that you were a free agent and I want to see if you're join up. I guess he thought it'd be funny to trick me into a bet match with you. A foreign team? Why didn't you send me a message or something? No, a Korean one. And Excel said you probably assumed that I was fanboy and blocked me. Although I get the feeling that was just an excuse for this whole setup. Man, Excel, couldn't he have just kept it that simple? What if I'd lost? Stump paused to reach for his phone. Distracted or no, he manages to carry on the conversation. Nah, block you sounds like something I do. Anyways, who else have you got? We've got... Wait, Jet is technically still on VP. Can I tell him that she's planning to leave? What if he tells someone? Why didn't I think of this ahead of time? You've got... We have some good players about to sign up and sponsor the works. Nothing official. We're trying to keep everything under the wraps until then. Sounds sketchy. A mysterious sponsor and mysterious players. He doesn't seem convinced, and I can hardly blame him. This sort of thing is unfortunately common in esports. But Excel did vouch for you. That's what something and you beat me. The future Protoss, Bonjour. I have no idea what Bonjour means. We're going to look it up real fast. The Korean term for players who dominate the StarCraft scene for a long period of time. A Bonjour has a very high win rate and successful championship win. So far, StarCraft's only Bonjours have been Terran and Zerg players. But not Protoss players? Oh. Once we get 4 players and some management, we're going to pick out a team house. You need to live and practice with us. I blink once, look away, and take a tactical pause. Oh, if your mom will let you move out, that is. He rises to my bait and straightens up, both fist clench. I can guess he's like happy about that. You're damn right she's gonna let me. All right, dude, consider me signed. If I've got a room and enough money to pay for food, we're in business. Stunt pauses and lower himself for the tips of his toes. What's the team called, by the way? Like I said, it's a work in progress. I'll let you know when it's picked out. If we're not named yet, I want to say it in it. How about Azure Blaze Phoenix Snipers? That sounds terrible. What? Even kid, this is a shonen anime. This isn't a shonen anime. Yeah, probably not. While Stunt revels in the afterglow of being signed to a StarCraft team, a thought occurred to me. Wait, don't you go to school? Oh, let's just say I'm between schools right now. I don't bother trying to divulge any more information. If you can live in a team house and perform, that's good enough for me. Some promising young pros deferred school for Brood War back in the day. And if StarCraft doesn't work out for him, well, at least he's got a future cleaning up stomping grounds. That's messed up. Wow. Right. The mysterious won't last for long, I promise. I'll be in touch if I need to show you up somewhere. Show up somewhere. Dang, I can't read today. Okay, I'm going to hit you up for practice games tonight, if that's cool. Be online. Sounds good. Welcome aboard, kid. The fiery protest player lifts his chin for a final grin before heading into one of the PC Bank's back rooms, before probably to gather a broom and dustpan. I grace Stunt's mom with an innocent expression on my way out. She answers my smile with a glare sharp enough to make my hairs on my back of my neck stand up. I step outside and suck in deep breath, relieved. The warm afternoon air is sweet and fills me with good air in my lungs. One down. What is this a picture of? Is this supposed to be like Jet? No, I'm just kidding. It's not Jet. The stairway to my apartment was empty as usual. Sometimes it feels like I'm the only person living in this building. Isolation was a major concern when I was first thinking about coming overseas. If my career wasn't passable, it's practically impossible for me to be anything but lonely. There's something I don't need to worry about anymore, I suppose. Seoul is proven to be vibrant, crowded, and busy. Everything in my life back home wasn't. Something as simple as crossing the street can be exciting for someone who has never been in an urban environment for more than a few hours at a time. It sounds stupid, but it's true. That's true. You know, I didn't go overseas, but I went to Arizona for my friend's wedding, and you know, it was so out of my environment because I'm used to like New York and I'm used to like really big cityscapes and all that. And while that had a kind of cityscape feel to it, I mean, I did live in PA also, like I told people before, but what was funny about Arizona is it kind of reminded me of like a mixture of PA and New York and Florida at the same time. And it really did kind of feel weird when I like would walk around and just kind of take in the air of the place to kind of see what it was like because I was there for like several days. It was different. So I can only imagine being across the sea though, how different that must be. If you've been outside the country, if you and you've actually lived in the States and you've been outside the country, put in the comments below. I'm curious. All right. Still, before meeting Excel and Jet, I barely talked to anyone offline. StarCraft's one-on-one nature doesn't exactly lend itself to social introductions. It'd be easy to get in touch with the foreign community out here, but I have very little desire to skulk around bars with jaded English teachers and washed-up businessmen. Why bother? I sank to my chair and jammed the spacebar a few times to wake up my PC. I practiced enough at Golden Zone Fire after recruiting Stunt, so I don't bother loading up StarCraft. Jet was pleased to hear about a new pickup, told me it was smart to hold off telling Stunt who she was too. I'm sure she'll announce her plans on her own time. She'll have to once we pick up our last player at any rate. With a few clicks, I'm staring at a common StarCraft fan site. The most interesting stuff that goes on the screen gets posted here. And what? Wait, what? The most interesting stuff that goes on in the scene gets posted here. Oh, like the scene of the actual. I get it. And what people vote as the best rises to the top of the page. I don't often visit the Korean community sites. I like them just fine, but I prefer to read in English when I get the chance. But no matter where you choose to get your StarCraft news, you'll find no shortage of netizens sharing their opinions on which player is awful or why the game's imbalanced. It's like anything else, man, I swear. Today seemed to have no exception. That foreign pro gamer just called it quits, and the comments about him are ridiculously scathing. Laugh him out, laugh off, good riddance. Dude was washed up anyways. Yeah, okay. Sure, he was underperforming recently, but before people forget just how much time and passion gets put into even a mediocre professional's career. The worst part is that most of the people talking smack are either too low league or don't play the game at all. I take out my phone hoping to find something on it to distract me from the mindless masses. No texts, no emails. Same as when I checked 15 minutes ago. It's been a while since I've chatted with my friends from back home. Most of them know about my esports aspirations, but none of them really get it. There's two reactions when someone learns that you play video games full time. Either they roll their eyes, or they tell you how lucky you are. I try to explain to the latter when playing StarCraft really isn't fun in the traditional sense. Winning can be satisfying, but the game is too stressful to be called anything called fun. At least for me. It beats boring minimum wage jobs, but it sure as hell isn't easy and pays less for all but the best. Yeah, they don't mention that between games and Star League teams. Pretty much everyone I went to high school with is enrolled in college. When I hear about their great social lives and internships, I can't help but feel jealous. I'd probably end up going eventually. It's not like I can make a living games when I'm 30. 5 or 6 years for StarCraft, and when you left with the dregs of your prize money and sore wrists, and hopefully some friends and fond memories. Ooh, oh. With a look back at the computer screen, I noticed that my inbox is a message waiting. A click, and I'm staring at a piece of fan mail, the first I've received in a month. Maybe it's inaccurate to call it fan mail, considering I've known this guy since before I started playing StarCraft in high school. Stream? Wait, so 10 people can watch me play faceless barcode all day? Pointless. Maybe if I got enough views to make some money. He and I really don't even talk back at school. It wasn't until I found out about my StarCraft skill after graduation that he tried to become my friend. I messaged my temples. I massaged my temples frustrated. All that message did was put me in a bad mood. Most of the people who follow StarCraft know less about the game itself than they do about people playing it. I don't like that I'm expected to constantly bear the scrutiny of strangers. Welcome to playing games online. The community is what keeps the scene alive. I know it's wrong to loathe it, but simply knowing that doesn't make it any easier not to. With an impatient click, my PC groans off. I climb under my sheets and settle in for an early night's rest. The search continues tomorrow. It's convenient because my thing is just finishing too. So once I'm not looking at a blank screen, let me save the game. What if this game actually has more spaces? I guess not. So I'm gonna have to hopefully I'm gonna have to start erasing some of the stuff eventually. Anyways, guys and girls, I hope you guys enjoyed StarCraft 2 visual novel See, I did it again. SC2VN, not SCT. I don't know why SCT keeps coming in. Anyways, have a great day. I think it's probably gonna come out of the day, probably on the weekdays. So have a great week. Have a great weekend if it's on the weekends. And as always, I'll talk to you guys later in the next video. Bye bye, everyone.